Welcome and good morning. Welcome to the NuSpecian Live. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here today. As you might note, this is a pre-recorded episode. We actually could not be live today, but we prepared some special content for you. For those of you who are new to NuSpecies, NuSpecies is a natural health company. We invent and manufacture our own unique line of herbal medicine and plant-based supplements. We are also an integrative health consulting practice based on over 20 years of experience working with clients who are often stuck between medical treatment and wanting to live a natural lifestyle. And we guide you through all of that. So one of the ways we provide that education and guidance is doing this Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. because a good health choice for you may not be a good health choice for someone else. And hosting this Q&A gives us the opportunity to answer your questions that will help you along your own unique health journey. So thank you so much for being with us here today. Aston, so this is the last day of in-store for the discount. And we thought it would be a great opportunity to dedicate this episode to giving folks some ideas of what are some basic but also powerful ways to use NuSpecies, especially if you're new. Maybe you're calling last minute today to figure out what you need to get for during the discount period and you're not able to reach Aston because a lot of people wait for the last minute and then can't get through on the last day. And then you still have until tomorrow to redeem the discount, but that's online only. And we're closed on Sundays. There are no reps in to answer your calls. So we want to make sure you have enough information to make an informed purchase and take advantage of the discount. So before we get into it, the discount is 15% off all full price products. The code should be along the bottom of your screen. All of the details are also in the description of this video, and every product and package that we're going to discuss on today's show will be linked in the description below. So don't worry about any of that. Just listen in, and Aston's prepared some guidance for you so you can figure out how to get started with NuSpecies.
Right. So we're going to do two different packages or protocol. One for women's health, one for men's health. And then, but before we get to that, what I want to say is that we have all these other basic to medium to upgraded potency formulas and packages or protocols that you can get. So these are not the only ones we have. And all you have to do is to call us. We don't have them on the website, so you have to call us.
Right. Just some of those products include some of our proprietary blends. And so those we can't sell on the site. But what I can say is if you wanted something more powerful than what we present today, still make a purchase. So that way you lock in your discount. And then once we get through to you next week, we are happy to extend the discount to anything else you add to your package. Having said that, a lot of the upgraded formulas already have a discount on them that's better than the promotion happening right now. So there's a good chance you'll be able to get those items at a discount anyway.
Right. So let's get into it.
Okay. So what do you got for us?
Okay, let's begin with the ladies. Let's show some difference in chivalry here.
Okay. So women's health, which is like already if you're a perfectly healthy woman, you could take this once a day. It'll last a little more than a month. Support all your women's health stuff. Queen Nanny is a more powerful version of that.
And we do have a lot of healthy women who take the Queen Nanny as well. But we're going to get into the details of surrounding why we have each of these.
Right. And then black cohosh is one herb that is found in both of these formulas that you can also buy by itself. So there's different options here for budget as well as your health goal.
Right. So the women's health is the most basic we have, is the most basic formula we have for women. So the women's health, we primarily use it to support women's health in general. This is like a maintenance. It's a very basic maintenance. But if you have issues like menstrual regularity, anemia, if you have hormonal issues, you may need to step up to the Queen Nanny, which is the more potent formula. And of course, if you have any questions about that, you should call us before you just go online and order it. Make sure all your questions are answered. So, and then we have the black cohosh. So why do we have it? We have it because we have found that a lot of ladies who are in menopause, they needed something a little extra than the Queen Nanny or even the women's formula. So you could buy the black cohosh along with the queen nanny or along with the women's formula. Or, some ladies buy all three together because these are actually helping you to balance your hormones. If you have hormonal issues, you have ovarian cysts, you have fibroids, you have endometriosis, you have dense breasts, you have all these hormone related issues, you can take all of these three together as your basic support to rebuild your endocrine system, which is your hormonal system or your glands. All the glands are found in the endocrine system. So you can take all three together to support your body. You can start with one, or you can start with all three.
Right.
Okay.
And if your budget is low and you just need something that's going to cost as little as possible, but you want to put some sort of support into your body, then just get the one that fits your budget and make it last a month. At
Always
least
get
you're doing
started.
something.
Always get started.
Right.
Never just sit and say, I'm going to wait until I win the lotto. That's nonsense.
Right.
Get started with something. If you have health issues, if you have hormonal issues, you need help, your doctors are not, helping as much as you would want them to, or maybe just that they just don't have what you need to get help. A lot of the clients who come to us, they actually don't get help from their doctors. So I would say that's probably the largest group of clients that we have. So we know you're out there, and if you're doing things and they're not working, whether with your doctors or otherwise, come over to us. You can start with any one of these, or you can start with all three.
Mm-hmm. Also, I will say that, a lot of clients who come to us, they usually have been referred by someone else who has seen incredible results, and maybe they were using like a whole package of formulas and they spent a lot of money. And now you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do that or if I'm ready for that. I don't even know if I like these products. I don't know this company like that. It's okay to get started, even at the most basic product.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we say that is because NuSpecies formulas are cold processed. So the plants that are in our products have not been exposed to heat. And then they are preserved with vegetable glycerin, not alcohol. So they're really pure. They have all the power that nature and God intended for that plant to have. And it's actually available to your body, basically pre-digested for you to absorb immediately. So even if you have digestive issues, you shouldn't have a problem absorbing the nutrition from our products. So you have the best chance. If this herb is going to be helpful to you, you have the best chance at actually seeing those benefits from our product than if you maybe tried black cohosh at some other time from some other company. It just may not have had the potency and purity of our formulas. So we do encourage you to try again or to try for the first time. And then once you like our products, you can start talking to us about upgrading what you're doing.
Right. So before we get to expanding to those other formulas that you can add, I want to say this for people who are new, who have never taken NuSpecies. So each of these bottles, two of these bottles, the Queen Nanny and the women's formula, we actually have a bunch of herbs and plants that it's a combination, it's a formulation we have in them. The black cohosh is just a herb by itself, but the other two formulas, we have a bunch of herbs and plants in them. It's a combination to support the entire endocrine system or the hormonal system. Mm-hmm. So that's what's in them. Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, so I'll put the women's formulas back over here. I will also let you know that even though this episode is pre-recorded, it is attended live by Mary, who's always in the background engineering our show, and she can chat to you if you have any further questions or send you links if you need any further links.
And Mary is our longest serving employee, so she will be able to answer your questions. All right. Now, these are the formulas we have here.
Where are we going?
Let's begin with the vitamin D.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of, still on the ladies protocol over there, a lot of ladies have vitamin D deficiency. If your vitamin D is low, you need to build up your vitamin D while you're supporting your hormonal system, because vitamin D is actually not a vitamin. It's a hormone that is from natural sources, whether plants or ours are from canola oil, right? So if you have low vitamin D, part of the reason why you have the hormonal issues you're having is highly likely the hormonal issues are connected to the low vitamin D that you have. So we reviewed the protocol for women's health. If you have hormonal issues, or if you don't, and you just need to maintain to make sure you don't get sick, because you have a family history. It could be your mother, your grandmother, an aunt. Those are indication that you have a family history of hormonal issues, whether it's fibroids or ovarian cysts, dense breasts, any of those sort of issues. So breast cancer, any of those issues is an indication from those significant, very close family members that you could be carrying those genes. So you can either maintain or you can take something more potent to rebuild your hormonal system to give yourself the potential to be safe from all those issues. Now,
so is it just or meaning and adding on the vitamin D?
So no, we're going to get to the vitamin D now. So the add-on is we have these other formulas here: the vitamin D, the New Genesis, the anti-inflammatory, the mineral complex. Depending on the complications of the hormonal issues, if you have, for example, vitamin D deficiency, vitamin D is not a vitamin; it's actually a hormone. You can do the research on that. You will need to support your vitamin D deficiency. And we have a natural, completely natural source of vitamin D that you can use. So that's the vitamin D. And even if you don't have hormonal issues, again, if you have a predisposition because of family history, genetics, you want to make sure your vitamin D is safe, because a lot of science, a lot of studies and research, scientific research have tied vitamin D deficiency to these issues with hormonal imbalance. Even autoimmunity has been tied very, very intimately to vitamin D deficiency. The next formula that you could add in addition to the women's package over there.
I'll just pretend we're going to stick with women's health for now.
Right, we are.
And then so vitamin D.
Vitamin D, you can add the mineral complex. So a lot of ladies will need the mineral complex because they have the menstrual irregularities or they have anemia. The mineral complex will help the bone marrow to produce, because you have the complex number of minerals, over 100 minerals that are in our mineral complex, including the trace minerals. So you will need the mineral to support your bone marrow to produce red blood cells. Okay, so it's another really great addition to the women's health package that you decided to, depending on the complexity or the complications of your hormonal imbalance.
Okay, so let's just review. So you've got the vitamin D and the women's health. These would be a month supply. The mineral complex will actually be a 3-month supply. So every month you would actually only be replacing these two until you need another mineral.
Mm-hmm. Now, the two other formulas we have there, they will support ladies.
You could add them on to all of this, you're saying?
Add them on, yes.
These are already discounted at a better rate than the promotion this weekend. So if you're not positive about these, don't worry. You can just add them on next week when you get to talk to Aston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if you decide to add these two in, or one of them, if you have fibroids, you have an inflammatory condition in your body. If you have ovarian cysts, you have an inflammatory condition in your body. If you have dense breasts, the same. If you have thyroid issues like nodules, the same. If you have endometriosis, you do. So if you have UTI or yeast infections, you do, ladies. So you may need to add one or both of these to support those additional conditions you have. So now what you're seeing from us here with this total package is that if you find that your body is breaking down, you're having all these issues, you have to stop it, because there's no medication that's going to help you. And you ask your doctors, you ask your gynecologist, you ask your primary care physician, and they'll tell you that they don't have anything to stop all of this from happening. They may give you hormones to stifle the production of the inflammation by the body because of so many damaged cells or tissue, but they can stop this decay. So what we are offering you is a solution to give your body a chance to support itself. These are what our formulas do. You take them and they support your body. So your body can rebuild itself. Your body can rebuild the hormonal system. Your immune system can get rid of the inflammation. So these formulas are not doing it. We're just giving your body, ladies, what your body needs to support itself if you have any of these issues that we have just mentioned.
All right. So now we'll pull these back and then we'll get into the men's. So when it comes to these formulas, including the vitamin D, one might say, oh, wait, but you just said those were for women. I can't take those. I'm a man. You don't have to worry about that with NuSpecies because all of our ingredients are whole foods. Your body is going to extract from them what it needs for what's happening in its body. We focus our formulas on the root causes of what's happening, on the body systems, the organs. And so those are going to be universal and they are going to be applied however your body sees fit. So even our formulas that actually are for, we say are for men and for women, can also be taken by men or women. You're not going to force an herb to only do one thing. But we do have some formulas that we say specifically are for men and women, just because men and women's health issues, especially some of the diseases and conditions that come along with them, can be devastating. And we want to make sure you have a specific support for those body systems or functions of the body.
Correct. So
we'll get to the men's now.
Having been done this, to Jillian's point, for over 20 years, we have shown, we have proven, we have the anecdotal evidence that the way we use our formulas for men's health and women's health, they work. And we have had men who have crossed, over to women's health. I don't think I've ever had a woman who actually admitted that she had crossed over to taking the men's formulas, but we have had men who have taken the Queen Annie along with.
Do you want to know why? It's because helping the men with their prostate issues has been so much more complicated. The women seem to stop at Queen Annie and they were like, we're good.
Right.
They didn't have to go creative to find.
But we have men who buy the Queen Annie.
Right. I'm saying men have had to be more creative to
Right.
find more solutions for their issues.
Right.
Yeah.
The Queen Annie has worked for maybe 99% of all the women. God didn't make herbs for men and herbs for women. Right. So
Fiery Focus does fuse a little bit of that.
It does. It's right. It's a combination.
Yeah.
Right.
So what do you recommend Fiery Focus for with men? Anything?
For if they have like lesions or nodules on the prostate.
See, okay.
Or on the kidney.
Yeah.
The Queen Annie, and not the Queen Annie, the Fiery Focus, which is another formula. We don't have it here with us, but it's over there on the shelf. It has been extremely successful with helping a lot of men who have lesions or nodules, and women who have dense breasts or fibrocystic breasts, or they have ovarian cysts, issues like those.
Right.
PCOS. The Fiery Focus have been extremely, working really well for women, and men. So that's another addition, but we don't have it here. But for men's health, this is it. So guys, if you have a prostate issue, it is primarily probably 90% related to the testosterone. So the testosterone is produced in the testes mainly. Some of it is produced in the adrenal glands above the kidneys as well, but it's produced primarily in the testes. And when it gets transferred from the testes to the prostate, there's another hormone that's called dihydrotestosterone. That transition from testosterone to dihydrotestosterone, that is the problem. The 5-alpha reductase enzyme malfunctions in creating dihydrotestosterone from testosterone. And guys, that's what leads to all the issues we have with men's health. Other than infection, well, if we have an infection, a UTI in the prostate, that affects the urethra or the bladder, is going to feed down into the prostate. But we can get to that separately. But you need to balance your testosterone. If it gets too high, you have a problem. We have a problem. If it gets too high, it's going to cause those bad cells in the prostate to multiply rapidly, which could lead to prostate cancer. If it's too low, the same thing happens. We don't have enough to support the prostate health. So the prostate can start breaking down. Those cells can start decaying, and that too can lead to prostate cancer. And the latter is the most, what happens with most men. The testosterone is too low. As we get older, our bodies don't produce enough testosterone. And that's why you need these formulas, the big boy or the men's health formula, So the men's health formula, just like the ladies, women's health formula, is a maintenance. So it is. We assume that your testosterone is normal, and you want to keep it normal. You can use the men's formula. But if you have a prostate issue, urine frequency, urine urgency, you have BPH or enlarged prostate, if you have prostate cancer, if you have prostatitis, any of those or all of those, you will likely need the more potent formula, the big boy.
But they
And
don't
then,
use that alone, right? Never.
no, once you cross over where you're not maintaining a healthy prostate with healthy amounts of balanced testosterone, then there's inflammation, and you will need to add in the anti-inflammatory. The body has to be able to remove that inflammation to keep those cells healthy, to keep, to allow the DNA to replicate healthy cells to replace the bad ones or the dead ones. Because the immune system in apoptosis is going to kill off a lot of the bad cells, and they need to be replaced. You need to get your body to remove the inflammation. Now we're adding in the new genesis. So if your prostate is chronic, if you have a chronic issue with the prostate, you may need to add in the new genesis. The new genesis is the formula that helps to rebuild the genes and DNA. What happens is that any health issue we have, the DNA is implicated. You have to get the body to try to fix the DNA and the genes that are made by the DNA. And that's another way to ensure that you're giving your body the potential to heal itself from the prostate issue or any health issue for that matter. The genes and DNA have to be supported for that person to be able to consider themselves having a chance to recover from the issues they have. And again, your body is the one, that's what doing the work. It's your body doing the work. We're just giving the body what it needs to do the work it needs to do.
Right. And the great thing is that, you see how we keep covering just large swaths of what the body needs. So you've got the body is trying to, reduce inflammation, fight infection. Your body is trying to balance hormones. The body is trying to repair. It's doing all these things at the same time.
Yeah.
And so we want to use a combination of herbs that can support all of these functions at the same time,
right,
rather than trying to chase symptoms around the body and maybe never actually get to the root cause of the problem. And that's just not our thing. Remedies and symptom-based stuff, you can find that everywhere. At NuSpecies, our specialty is helping the body just fix the issue once and for all, or stay as resilient as it can for as long as it can, because some things, are too far gone and may not be able to be fixed completely, but certainly you could have a better quality of life for as long as possible.
Right.
Which is why our mission is to help our clients live better and longer. And so we have a huge range of support we can provide depending on your needs. But that is why you will see Big Boy is getting very hyper specific to hormonal balance, men's health stuff, and then anti-inflammatory and new genesis can be applied quite broadly for a whole host of things.
Right. And why do we need these formulas? That's another question I get from a lot of clients. Why can't I have one bottle?
Can't you just put it all in one bottle?
And it would be convenient.
Yeah,
but
it would also be this big.
It would be that big, and they may not work. And whatever you see in the pharmacies or wherever you see them, they're going to call names, these multivitamins that have multiminerals and they have vitamin D, and they have all these mixtures in vitamin E, all these different ingredients mix. Scientifically, I can't even imagine, in terms of chemistry, I cannot even imagine that all of these are in that bottle. It's just not possible.
Right. Well, in a lot of cases, it's completely synthetic. So it's been made in a lab. And so they can, we always say this, like, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet, but not in the case of of vitamins and minerals. If just because it says it's vitamin E doesn't mean that you're going to get the benefits in your body that you think you're going to get.
Right.
And the same thing, like I was saying earlier, this would be saw palmetto for the men, black cohosh for the women. Just because you buy something else that says black cohosh doesn't mean you're going to get the benefits that you would see if you took this black cohosh, because these are going to be, they're raw, they're organic, they're liquid,
natural,
completely natural. We don't add anything else in there. And so you are getting the potency and purity that your body needs to do the work it needs to do. Also, the other thing would be, I find that
I have one more point.
Oh, Okay. I won't forget mine because I'll write it down.
Or write it down. So that's why we need to put certain plants and herbs and green foods and whole foods in separate bottles so when you take them, your body can get the support it needs. We wish we would save a massive amount of manufacturing costs if we were able to jam all of these in one bottle. We would save so much money.
Mm.
So we can't save that money because we have to do it right.
Save your gummy vitamins for dessert. This is real nutrition right here.
This is the real deal.
Yeah.
The real deal.
What I was going to say was that a lot of clients, once they start asking us, well, can't all these be in one bottle? Or why can't I just take this one and not that one? I often find that they start transitioning their mindset from results to either cost or convenience. So if you want to prioritize cost and convenience over results, then go to any other supplement company. But at NuSpecies, we've done it this way because we focus solely on making sure our products will actually give you the results that you're looking for when you come to us.
Yep.
And it's really easy to start to get sidetracked into other priorities that will then counteract the ultimate goal, which is getting the health results that you want. So yes, we have done it this way for a reason. And I'll also highlight that, for example, vitamin E is an oil, when it's extracted from a natural source, which from us it's soy, it is an oil. The vitamin D, this is not just vitamin D, this is actually wild caught Norwegian cod liver oil that is raw, so not processed with heat. When not processed with heat, and when coming from a wild caught cod, you actually get the D and A that the cod's liver produced, because D is a hormone.
Right.
If that cod liver oil is not wild or processed with heat, you are then damaging the D. You're no longer getting that nutritious benefit.
Right.
This is an oil. Again, oils can't be combined with the other ingredients. So when we get our nutrients from their natural sources, it creates natural boundaries that we can't breach. Okay, enough about that. So, Aston, is there any scenario in which the men are now, I'm just going to get adding in mineral or vitamin D?
Yes. So, yes, the guys can also add in the vitamin D and the mineral complex if you need it to support, the bone marrow, because the more, so this is what minerals do generally. So, we have the B vitamins complex, which we don't have it on the table now. It's over there in the shelf. But the B vitamins primarily support genes and DNA, especially the DNA. That's what the B vitamins do if they're natural. And the minerals now, the natural minerals, they support the cells. In the cell is an entire universe in every cell. It's a universe because that's where everything is. And that's why one cell can lead to cancer. All you need is one cell to turn to cancer. It multiplies or over-replicate, and you have cancer. So the mineral complex, it supports the whole body. It also supports all the cells in the body because that's where all the action takes place, in the cell. Sickness or health, in the cell.
Now, the benefit of having the mineral complex, the vitamin D separate, is that you could also be taking the NU formula, which we don't have here, just because Aston was trying to find the most focused use of your budget if you had to choose. So where the NU formula would normally provide the minerals, it would provide vitamins, it would provide some detoxing, some rebuilding, a little bit of everything.
Yep.
NU is great if you're taking nothing else and that's the only product you're taking. It's very, very comprehensive. But when you're trying to save your budget toward other more specific rebuilding formulas, then NU gets put aside for New Genesis or anti-inflammatory, then you might want to add back in, some minerals for the mineral complex and vitamin D.
Right.
So there's so many ways to do this. What we can't emphasize enough is that you can't go wrong. Even if today all you started with men was saw palmetto and women black cohosh.
Right.
you are starting to give your body the desperate support it needs to start making the changes you're asking for. You're not wasting time. In fact, when you do nothing, you're only allowing damage to continue to happen in your body. You need to start to counteract it. So a lot of folks wait too long because they want to talk to Aston just to get that, rubber stamp on whatever you choose to buy. But especially if it's not a really high cost formula, just get started. Your body needs something and it needs it now. The only time you're ever going to waste time is if you're already on a package that's working and then you don't replenish it because you're waiting for Aston to tell you if you should buy it again. And now you are slowing down your momentum when you already know what you need and that it's working. And so get it again, or at least get some portion of it until you can reach Aston. I will say that, today is the last day of the discount, and then tomorrow, Sunday, we're not open. So today you may not be able to reach Aston, which is why we're doing this particular presentation. But normally now when you call, most of the time the team is going to be able to conference Aston right in. You don't need to wait for an appointment. So you shouldn't ever really have to wait that long anymore. But we never want you to intentionally slow down your progress or waste time by not replenishing what's already working for you. In this case, we're just giving you some basics here, and we're covering men and women's health, which basically covers everyone. So that is what you're seeing here on the table. I'll just line them all up and
and a couple more points.
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah, we're going to go to the South Pole, and we're going to walk to the North Pole. Don't pay attention to me.
It's east-west.
I'm twisted. Yeah, I need a drink. So we started with the basic support for men's health and women's health, right? So we would like you to also consider them for family members. A lot of you buy for family members all around the world, all around the US, all around Canada, all around Europe, Africa, the Caribbean. A lot of you buy South America. Yes. Especially the Dominican Republic and Haiti. So you now have well-priced, not cheap, but well-priced. I think the women's formula and the men's formula is
$29.99 or no, $34.99.
$35 for each. So we're giving you opportunities to help family members, and we know you want to help them, but you just don't have it to buy the giant packages that we have. So you can call in and ask for the basic support that we have, and you can get the basic support for your family members here in the US, or they're in other countries. So we're trying to make sure that you have this opportunity to help others, family and friends. And the holidays are coming up. It's quite a ways, but you should plan, start dropping a penny in a little bucket here or there. So by the time you get up to the holiday time, instead of buying them wallets and shoes and sneakers and all that crap, and they're sick and they need help, give them the help that they really need, help that matters, help that will help them to live better and longer. So that's the South Pole. The North Pole, we have formulas that are in here that are even more potent than these, far more potent. And we just want to let you know we have a lot of other formulas that are very potent for people who have a greater need for rebuilding. And if you need them, you should ask, and we'll tell you about them.
But again, the goal for today's session was to make sure that they have something to get started with today,
right,
or tomorrow when you may not be able to reach us to talk.
Right.
Otherwise, yes, anytime you can call, we will be able to talk with you through other options.
And to your point, even the basic you could use if you have the most chronic health issues, whether it's a prostate, you have endometriosis, you have fibroids, you have whatever issues, you have cancers, you can still start taking the basic support. Doing nothing is a crime against your life, against your body, literally. So don't wait, get started, support your body, support your health. And when you can do better, you do better. It will help in some form or other. It will help, even if it's not as potent. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much for preparing that presentation. Folks, I hope this was really helpful for you. And you can find all the links to all of these individual products and various combinations in the description of this video. And then also probably in the email that went out today. If you're not on our email list, you can go to NuSpecies.com, which is also linked below, to sign up for our email list and our text list. And you can also sign up for our rewards program, because with the rewards program, if you're going to be referring any family and friends to NuSpecies, you can get your own unique referral link, and then you will earn enough points every time one of them buys to get a discount on your next purchase. So you will also earn a point for every dollar that you spend, and that will get you discounts that will happen that you'll be able to use when we're not doing any other discounts. So for like most of our most loyal clients, they probably haven't paid full price and since we started the rewards program over a year ago, because they always have points sitting and waiting when we're not doing another discount. Yeah.
Good point. Excellent point.
So join the rewards program. And then before you leave today, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, help us grow our audience here so we can keep helping more people. And we really, really appreciate it. We will be live again next week. So if you have any questions in the meantime that you don't want to forget, just download the NuSpecies app and you could submit your question to us anytime. And then we will make it a priority to answer it on the next episode.
Yep. Thank you very much. I hope this was helpful. And live better and live longer.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.